The problem with climate change isn't that it's not real, it's that the argument about whether it's real is still happening. There is no argument. The science is done. The planet is hotter, our food systems are stressed, our water is contaminated, and people are suffering. The only people who say otherwise are the ones making money off of the destruction of our planet. And yes, I mean destruction. That's not hyperbole. It's measurable, it's visible, and yes, humans are the cause. So if all of this is so real, so urgent, and so dangerous, why am I telling you to stop debating about it? Because the debate itself is a distraction, and that distraction is costing us time we do not have. While we argue about climate change, we miss what's happening right in front of us, because climate change is just one piece of a bigger machine, a machine that's been chewing through life on Earth for over a century. And if we're serious about saving anything, we have to stop getting lost in the fog of that debate and get laser focused on the systems doing the actual damage. First, the bad news. We need to talk about the biggest culprit, and it is powerful. The most powerful entity imaginable. Our modern economy is the machine that consumes the planet by design. This is important to understand. Extraction is destruction. Processing those pieces of Earth creates more destruction and toxic waste. Packaging is nothing but waste. All packaging is trash. Shipping in all forms is environmental landmines. All of that happens as workers are paid as little as possible, and the products are sold for as much as the market will allow. And when you're done with it, guess what? Now it's your problem. The companies that created all of those problems for profit will consume that land until it has nothing of value remaining. And then they'll go to other land and do the same thing. They walk away. No responsibility for the waste, no cleanup, no guilt, just profit. It's an economic model that guarantees collapse, and yet it's treated as normal human activity. But I want to pull the curtain back and help everyone realize the true cost of things. Let's take just one element, just one, and use it to expose the whole rotten structure. We could talk about electronics, batteries, solar panels, automobiles, and even manufacturing byproducts. Let's talk about plastic, just how bad the reality is. I'm not suggesting what it might be in the future. No, I'm talking about right now, what's already done. It will take thousands of years to correct the damage we've done if we started right now, and we haven't started. The story of plastic starts in 1907. The first synthetic plastic, Bakelite, is introduced. Oh, that's cute. At this point, plastic seems like a miracle. No one's talking about toxicity or waste at all. Global production starts at 50,000 tons per year. By the 1930s, production increases to 100,000 tons annually. Some factory workers are starting to show signs of dangerous exposure to toxic chemicals, but the public doesn't know that yet. The 1940s. World War II pushes plastic use into overdrive. Production triples to 300,000 tons annually. Early studies show plastic additives can disrupt hormones in lab animals, but those studies are ignored. The war matters more. The 1950s. Enter Tupperware. Polyethylene bottles and plastic shopping bags make their first appearance. Global plastic production hits 1.5 million tons annually. There's no recycling, none, and no awareness of how bad this stuff is for the planet or us. The 1960s. Flower power, free love, save the earth. But the plastics industry sees this movement and goes on offense. They start blaming you, the consumer, for the waste. Landfills fill up, so we start burning plastic, causing acid rain and dumping heavy metals into soil and into the air. The 1970s comes along. Plastic production increases another 525%. The Keep America Beautiful campaign is launched, funded by corporations using plastic to shift the blame onto individuals, consumers, again. The 1980s, single-use plastic becomes the norm. We hit 100 million tons of plastic per year, and we're just getting started. And get this, if there was ever a sign that plastic is a problem, this is it. Wealthy countries start shipping plastic waste to Asia. We are literally outsourcing our garbage. 1990s, bottled water is the new sliced bread. Plastics flood into electronics and even clothing. Studies link BPA, and however the hell you say that stupid word, to fertility and developmental issues. The US and Europe keep exporting their trash, which means, as of 30 years ago, the world knew this was an issue that had already outpaced our ability to manage it. In the 2000s, 250 million tons per year of plastic is produced. Plastic is in your clothes, your food, medical devices. Microplastics show up in seafood, salt, bottled water, and in you, and I mean you specifically. The 2010s, public awareness finally hits hard. Remember this poor turtle with a straw shoved up its nose? All kinds of documentaries point to all kinds of issues. China finally says no more to Western trash, so the US stops using plastic immediately. That would never happen. Not voluntarily anyway. Nope. We start shipping waste into Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, and other Southeast Asian nations. The US is literally taking a dump on poor nations. In the 2020s, which we're only halfway through right now, and nothing has changed. Bioplastics show promise, but they're currently too expensive and very difficult to scale. All right, so that's the history of how plastic is destroying life on Earth, and none of that is an exaggeration. All of that is true. And here's the scariest part. Today's microplastics show up in every human organ that's been tested. Those microplastics pass from mother to fetus through the placenta. They're in the rain, snow, clouds, rivers, food, and air. They move through the water cycle, yes, even evaporation. That's not someday in the future, that's right now, at this moment. A few weeks ago, I was feeling a bit sassy doing research for this topic. I asked ChatGPT, when will the last person be born without microplastic contamination? It's already happened. The human race is infected with microplastics, and there is nothing we can do to reverse that. And not a single corporation gives a single poop about that problem. Hey, what about recycling, you might ask? You've probably heard that around 9% of plastic gets recycled globally, and you may have thought, well, that's better than nothing. Actually, it's the same as nothing. In the US, it's not even 9% that gets recycled. It's closer to 5 or 6%. But even that is terribly misleading. That plastic isn't reborn into new life. It's not like compost that you can safely grow your tomatoes in. At best, recycling is nothing more than a tiny delay, a brief detour before it ends up in a landfill or even worse, an incinerator. Recycling delays the damage ever so briefly. It doesn't prevent it at all. If you're a smart feller, you might be asking yourself, what about all the plastic that's ever been created? Does that mean, yes, it's all still here? In the soil, the ocean, the food, the air, 10.5 billion tons of plastic have been produced since 1907. That number is impossible to envision. So picture 46 million statues of liberty. I know, that's still impossible. How about this? 26 times the entire mass of all living humans. And to date, we can't do anything with it. We are adding to that by 400 million tons per year. I hope it's becoming clear that we are absolutely killing the planet with plastic. And plastic might not even be the worst thing we're doing. That's just the example I chose for this video. And here's what makes it worse. The companies doing this, fossil fuel giants, petrochemical producers, plastics manufacturers, they're making trillions in revenue. In 2022 alone, fossil fuel companies raked in nearly $4 trillion in global revenue. Profits were still in the hundreds of billions, and yet with all of the issues we have in the US, homelessness, homeless vets, children starving, elderly going without health care and meds, water shortages. Recently, eggs were $6 million for a dozen, and yet somehow these companies are still being subsidized by the US government. In the US alone, fossil fuel companies receive $52 billion every year in subsidies. So what do? Well, here's the truth. Reusable bags, bamboo toothbrushes, paper straws, I mean, they matter symbolically, but they don't stop the machine. Corporations laugh at boycotts, but recently that changed. Boycotts against Target were successful and illustrated that it can be done. But it takes everyone. Believe it or not, the people can use capitalism as a weapon against those who are using it against the people. All of these terrible systems fail if we, the people, raise our standards and remain committed to a better world. We need to stop voting for any politician, any party who takes fossil fuel money in any form directly or indirectly. Even if they invest in those companies, we should never allow them to represent the people. If we can't get lawmakers to pass regulations, then we can do it ourselves with our own dollars. Don't buy anything that doesn't biodegrade, and let producers know that you feel that way. If it doesn't biodegrade, it shouldn't be made. And finally, shop local. Support local restaurants, stores, and makers. Keep your money in your own community, not some corporate headquarters in another state or even another country. Chains don't bring wealth to communities. They only bring low-paying jobs that seem to get worse and worse and end up hiring fewer and fewer people. Every local dollar you spend builds resilience in your community. Every dollar you give to corporations fuels destruction. We are at the end game. We have to figure this out because lawmakers and corporations will never change on their own. We've been tricked into thinking that we currently live in the golden age of convenience, the golden age of technology. But this, right now, today, this is the most wasteful, most destructive century in human history. But there is some good news. We can change it. We don't need perfection and we don't need permission. We need courage. We need coordination and we need each other. Don't let politicians tell you who the enemy is. It's not your neighbor. It's not your cousin who votes differently than you. The enemy is the system that profits from pain and sells collapse as convenience. This is not a call to violence in any form or fashion at all. I'm just simply saying, let's be aware of how powerful our dollars are. You work hard for your money, you should make sure that you get something back for it. Using your money to ensure your world is better for you, for your kids' kids, it's the most powerful vote you have. Thanks for watching. Stay fierce, stay safe, stay hopeful. McNutt out.